welcome to today's installment here of the Galaxy Battles EU Qualifiers Evil Corporation versus Team Singularity. It's a Group A, a lower bracket match, which means it's time for one of these teams to be eliminated. Should be fairly even matchup here. Both of these teams have taken the game of Hellraisers in the upper bracket here, but incidentally, of course, it also means that Hellraisers were the team that sent them down here. The winner of this match will meet them again in the grand finals here of Phase 1. Last time these guys met each other was in Pro Dota Cup in a best of 1. Evil Corporation won that game. But this time around, they actually got here because they've got a death win because of feed. So maybe got a bit lucky there that they couldn't play yesterday. Anyway, again, elimination series means that if you lose, you are out. It's that. Later today, we'll have Panther Sports versus Team Doggy over in Group B in a very similar situation. My name is DragonDrop, happy to bring you these games. And the drafts, after the initial phase bans, took quite a while here, even Team Singularity, even dipping into reserve time. We are here with the first phase, already done and dusted. Clockwork and Gyrocopter picked up together. First phase, I mean, Clockwork, not the biggest surprise, still remains a very popular hero. And Gyrocopter is moving up in the ranks, really. Don't really see him more and more often. Making good use of the flag cannon here, rediscovering that his ability to take camps very quickly, farm up very fast, and go in from there. Of course, all of this magic damage they can bring to the table. On the other side, though, Singularity, this is as meta as it gets right now. Brewmaster, very solid offlaner that can contest, that can stay alive in most lanes. Because of his drunken haste and drunken brawl, all this evasion and this chance and whatever that he's working with. Then he turns into this very good mid-game team fighter. That can be quite hard to dodge, right? On the other side, if you can make sure that this brew split is not effective, you should dodge it out or just burst them down before you get it off, then you can set yourself up pretty decently against it. But most of the time it's easier said than done. Winter Wyvern especially also coming into play. We've seen it first phased a lot of the time here. Just because it's very safe lane support, right? Run them there, zone people out, the Arctic Burn. Very safe, very effective. And then later down the line you have the wave clear and saving potential, as well as that big old reset button, the Winter's Curse, and the right circumstance you can get some good kills with that, forcing the enemy to turn around and say, okay, we can't take this fight anymore. That's when everything goes correctly, right? Makes a lot of sense here to have these kind of heroes. Now in the banning phase, Bane taken out, Life Stealer, Bloodseeker, quite a few annoying ones. The other couple of big ones in this patch have already been taken out. The Puck, we see that often. Tiny, Master, Undying even.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Good, actually. Not yours with the Elder Titan. Curious. Run that. That seems like a targeted ban for nothing else. I believe they've. Oh yeah, they've played it up against Hellraisers. That's the game they won with it, so makes sense in that light. They've also played the Tinker a couple of times. They pulled out the Magnus.
5 seconds remaining.
Death Prophet, which crops up every now and again. Another hero would be the Medusa. Sure about these teams, how popular they feel it is, but I see that hero crop up more and more. And then again, there's still a few counters left. The Anti-Mage is the big one.
Disruptor.
And Disruptor even considered to be one of them too. Got Medusa with its Static Storm. Medusa doesn't get the ultimate off, then it's a little bit easier to bring it down.
10 seconds remaining.
Other than that, doors open for them. Juggernaut, okay. Sticking to the guns, sticking to very safe picks. Both teams really here for the most part. Gyrocopter can be a bit tricky to make use of here if you cannot isolate people with the rocket barrage, but might very well just go to the whole missile build, just mix that out together with the flag cannon. In certain lanes that's just as viable, if not more, because, well, if you cannot really make use of the rocket barrage anyway, then there's no point in skilling it. And Disruptor, Clockwork, those are some supports that can help you get in range of that. But it's not always easy. Could be super useful though up against the Brewmaster in lane, so we'll see what he wants to do. Unless it's even not a safe in Gyrocopters, could very well be mid, and hey, look at this, Omni Knight also coming out. We've seen that yesterday, I believe, from Team Doggy? Or Mousesports? Oh, I think Mousesports. Yeah. They pulled that out.
10 seconds remaining.
There's a strong offlaner here in the right lanes, and Juggernaut is definitely one of them.
5 seconds remaining.
And repel yourself here to make sure that the spin doesn't really do any damage. We'll see how that works out. Thanking. Pretty decent. You can't repel all the time, so SK decides to get that earlier point into the course finale. Maybe he can help out Juggernaut.
10 seconds remaining.
But he'd rather roam around trying to get kills elsewhere on the map. Last band's coming out. Team Singularity not opting to pick the mid lane, and now means that even out of the storm. Not sure that's something that you need to be worried about, considering again the Omni Knight's pretty good against as a defensive utility against that. And Disruptor already on the field, but beyond that I guess they don't have a lot of control problems with it. But that's gonna be the Razor for Team Singularity. But Evil Corporation, of course, they have that benefit of having the last pick. Thing is, can you really counter out Razor and mids? Not really.
10 seconds
Like
remaining.
a Viper can struggle against that.
5 seconds remaining.
Also have to think in terms of 2v2, right? You have the Clockwork already there to probably stick around against either the Sanking. Probably the Sanking here with the Wyvern will. It's not likely to spend a lot of time mid early on. So it's a melee versus melee support matchup. Which still favors the Razor lane, right? Especially with someone like a Sanking with a stun. So steal a lot of damage very early on. Or they could go for perhaps something like a sniper. Might stay away from him. Viper if you just want to be solid and not die. Ignite is could also be an option if they're looking for more push. Death Prophet also still on the pool for the same reasons, and yeah. I think they're well set up here already to try and fight into Singularity. Yeah, OD is also lots of work, bit of defensive utility with the imprisonment. Works a little better against Razor nowadays because you don't slow yourself down with the unstable current when you cast it on Razor. Also, if you cast it on yourself, the Stipe Link already going, and just extra free damage for Razor. Link is not being broken. So in that sense, won't be able to use it defensively like that, but it's still alright. Not the best matchup, but then again, what hero really matches up super well against the Razor? Again though, they are lacking a bit of push. They'll have to rely on winning team fights.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
against a lineup like Singularity, that is
5
not necessarily
seconds
easy if
remaining.
you consider it. I mean, Sanking pretty good in a couple of games here in the past weeks, where Sankings stay alive in team fights, get like 3 or 4 burst strikes off, and whittle away at you with that. Brewmaster's also going to be able to dominate those with the Wyvern, pretty good defensive utility. Going to be coming down to Evil Corporation, can outplaying them a bit, utilizing their own turnaround potential with the Omni Knight, and most importantly the initiation here with Clockwork and the control from the Disruptor. They can get that on target, like if you can take down a Brewmaster here before the fight starts, that would be amazing, but again, we'll see whether they can actually do that. Alright, game number 1 of this best of 3 elimination series in Galaxy Battles EU qualifiers. Battles, of course, the first major of 2018 in Philippines Arena in Manila.
Prepare for battle.
$1 million in prize pools, as is required, I guess. Could be fairly exciting. And these two teams still have a chance to make it through. Of course, there's a long way to go. Even if they make it through finals of this stage here, they still have to beat Hellraisers. been looking quite decently here recently. Then they move on to the second phase of the qualifiers, and for EU, Kinguin and Team Secret are all already waiting there in a single elimination bracket. Interesting position for Singularity here. It's not exactly something that you can see. Looks like they might be for delayed smoke. Yep, there it is.
30 seconds to battle.
So they're in a good position. Put that out. Walk around here. You have to be careful not to break the smoke on the tower, but Clockwork will break smoke regardless. They do see him. Can't really go on him, so team's gotten very good very fast with these kind of positions. Very common for the Dire side to go into this area, and equally common for the Radiant side to secure the top two runes. One of me is actually playing against. And yeah, he secured this bounty rune. So pretty good. Then he puts out there fun. Of course. Of course. E-Corps is only with one bounty rune, so not off to the best start. 2v2 made in. Okay, the two supports that I didn't expect here are gonna be the ones trying to babysit a little bit. Paoli on one side and Stolen on the other with that Winter Wyvern. But, well, dropped on not exactly good in these kind of situations either. They're taking a lot of damage. Look at this too, Bashrook. He's also still sitting in the back. Paoli will run into him now. Burst strike, couple of right clicks are a possibility, but shouldn't really die here. TP's out. Like, absolutely sure. Could potentially run it down, actually. He has boots already, so yeah. TPing there was definitely the right decision. 1 or 2 more right clicks and it would have been a death. But now, speaking of death, Mikey down bottom. Drunken Haze makes it a little bit harder for Gyrocopter. If he set that up with the rockets, so no rocket barrage to actually finish it off. But forcing out some region at the very least area, just doing this thing, trying to go for the dog burn, but not really working out. As a result, he'll take quite a bit of damage here from Bashrook, and Mikey also coming in. Take another rocket to the face. This is what it is. The only problem with that for Gyrocopter is that you're gonna have a hard time maintaining that spam. I mean, only has one more left in him. It needs a little bit of a while for the mana to take in for the third rocket, or for another rocket, I should say. Else from both sides in mid. Already see the Razor starting to get ahead here. 6 on 3 to the 2 and 4, 3 and 4 now. But right now there's a 2v1, so he should be able to catch up a little bit. And Starlink's actually still going for a while, though it didn't show on screen. All up top. Actually, doing pretty well here up against Juggernaut. Yeah, I was talking about the Omni Knight, pretty solid 1v1 lane. Especially against melee heroes, because they have to get closer to creep wave to get last hits, and either you stand there yourself and throw out the purification to just keep harassing. That's not something the spin can even help you with. Or you just do it on the creep even. Only messing up last hits, but you also are able to throw out that free harassment essentially. Okay, coming from Basher. This could actually be our first blood here. Ah, nice play there. Burst striking through the kinetic field. Mikey still want to go for it though. Fight the slow. But can't quite get in range for the extra damage to be thrown out. So far, so mellow. Top lane. Golden just planting down some wards. Not exactly the most aggressive hero. Very defensive in nature. Interesting to see this Clockwork in this lane supporting role. Normally you would see that hero trying to roam around a little bit more instead of for kills. He didn't even get it in mid. Wasn't for the static link, just being it's so annoying, because even if you go on him, you're gonna steal half of your damage. It means that you don't really have a lot of follow-up to actually kill him. Especially with the OD not putting many points up into the arcane orb just yet. Not ideal. Top lane at the same time. Yeah. Bit dangerous now already at this point though with the spin. As I said, not exactly effective against the Omni Knight, but if Area were to come in with the cogs, he would be the one taking all the spin damage. Unless he's the one being repelled up, which could also be. That would also require leaving Gyrocopter alone down bottom. Not ready to do it just yet, but no Bashrock and the Mikey. Nice little cogs here this time, pushing Gumas back. And that'll be that. Level 2 and tanking a lot of damage. He's done things around with Rocket Barrage as well, level 2. We're able to run him down, also catching inside the kinetic field. And First Blood will be joined by Flensmeister. That's the kind of plays that you want to make on the Gyrocopter area. Doing that very low health Bashrock. Still sticking around, seeing what he can do. I'll have to play with Kaoli a little bit. He does have to try to fall back around if necessary. Yeah, I mean, by a Ring of Region there, Mikey knows that area is sitting there very low health and almost got that kill. Hawk somehow pushing him out of there. Oh.
Dire are scanning.
He knows how this game is played. Did the math. Absolutely fine on this Rockwood Goblin. Region joining in the Shrine value. But last mine is completely run his lane now. 24 and 18 to 13 and 7. Region not having the best time. Even with Kaoli sticking around there for quite a while. Hasn't made as much of an impact now, someone coming through this. Goes at one right click for a bit of extra slow. That'll hold us enough for 78 damage to be stolen from Razor. 3 points up with the static link will do that here.
I'll take that as tribute.
Bit of an issue. OD normally one of these zeros where once OD we ahead early in lane, just turn into this unstoppable monster. Failing that, you can have a hard time catching up. Astral Imprisonment is a bit of a farming utility, but it's not the greatest thing in the world. Still alright considering the way these other lanes are going. They're not catching up in terms of lasts now, but he's quite a few of those jungle creeps. In terms of net worth, he's still a little bit behind of the Omni Knight, who's just completely taken over that lane too. And as we saw bottom lane, they got the first blood there. Extra safety to work with, knowing that Gyrocopter is going to be in a good spot. The lane, bit of a commitment here from Singularity. They have stolen up on the high ground. Can throw out another couple of right clicks with the Arctic Drone. Well, Splinter Blast potentially. He has area, goes in very aggressively. Mastermind only stole a little bit of damage, but he also has the DD rune. Burst Strike will miss though. Area still alive, but can he really go in? Well, he is, with Omni coming through with the heals to make that safe. Now the glimpse back into the cogs. Mastermind is in a lot of trouble for years around him. Tower Shot also connecting with him. And, well, that's Splinter Blast on level 1. Not quite enough to finish any one of these kills. Stolen. Well, they might realize that he's still sitting around here. They have the ward to confirm it. And, well, there it is. Stolen. Well, no battery sold until just now. Still not a whole lot to do. We'll target those in the blast. I'm gonna give that kill to Ryujin, make the rotation for it. This is where he's already catching up. Want to look at the net worth, he's putting the CS disadvantage that he's had against the Razor and still has. He was like 12 CS missing. The fact that he's only 100 gold away from him now, 150, is because of these kills. So he's right back on track where he wants to be. Alright. Bottom, Mikey. Continue to farm up. Once he hits level 6 here, the game will probably start picking up a little bit more. Be able to gonna look to try and make use of that primal split as much as we can. Flip side though, Flensmeister with his levels will also be able to match these rotations and start getting active on Gyrocopter as well, because that's what that hero is really designed to do. It's not the kind of guy that wants to just farm all the time, even though he does have the flak cannon as an ability here. Putting too many points into it now. Glimpse back, the rocket will turn around. Patrick, oh. But Sandstone will not help him. He will end up falling very easily indeed. Also part of what Evil Corporation's skill set has, even just with the low levels of the support, just imagine what will happen once a couple of extra points and a glimpse come out on the Disruptor, plus the Static Storm, as well as the hook shot. Okay, Soul up top. Nice solo to own me, trying to TP out, but yeah, didn't have enough damage. Opted to go for the dive and does get punished, so it's not exactly worth it for Evil Corporation actually. Argonaut in that kill, a lot of extra money for him. He's going for the Battle Fury build up. That'll help him try and accelerate into the later parts of the game. Okay, that is reduced defensively. Era catches himself inside the Cox though, together with all these rulings. Trying to make his way out. Nox also making rotations though, can connect with the spin, especially with the rock. Also sending him up. So a bit of an overextension there for E-Corp, and now also looking for Kaoli. New rotation here from Bashrock and Mastermind. Need to find the first strike across, but it is level 3. Still not gonna be enough range. Kinetic Field. Oh, they still get it just in time. Kinetic Field expiring. Make sure they can get in range of that. All of a sudden, 5 heroes on the side of Singularity down in the bottom lane. They will be able to pressure down this tower. Live use very early. Ryujin trying his best to push mid turn. Cleanse. He realized that was a little bit too hard to go down bottom. Instead, he makes his rotation top. Helping out only to try and trade for the tier 1 lane. They have the catapult wave here. They have easy ways of clearing through the enemy creeps. So, unless this is being responded to, this should work out. Rest of Evil Corporation trying to maybe do the same in mid, but Mastermind already defending it there. The support sitting in the side, looking for a bit of a backstab. Bashrook still smoked up with a haste rune even. To make the call, that's a little bit too dicey here at this point. Oh, it's back on the Solon, into the Connect Field. What's the follow-up though? Just steeping out. Area cannot driving in at good range. And then from Bashrook, I let him through here with Cogs pushing him out of it. Mastermind though, gonna get the kill into Area, more than likely, not quite yet. Last right click, not enough damage for it here, but instead they did focus on Disruptor finishing it off instead. No, that's gonna be in a good position. Very easy quick kill into a tower. Top lane though, that's a bit of an issue though. Tier 2 is already being pressured here by Gyro and Omni-Knight. No response means that they just feel very comfortable continuing to go and taking these higher level objectives. Versus team maybe still trying to slow them down, but without the Static Storm yet, and the Disruptor is not a whole lot that they can do here. Trying to go for the knife, and never really going to be happening, but that's actually still a good trade. Just the power to siege creep. They don't really have pushing heroes. That was the only reason they couldn't make that play. Oh, Nox, alright. Omni Slash, first usage of the games, finds a poor little Disruptor. What he can do at level 4. Well, he is level 6 now, so that hook shot is available to try and turn this game around a little bit. The question is, who do you really initiate on? The Wyvern? Not a single point on the Golden Braids yet, but can always fly out of the Cox with the Arctic Burn. Can burst strike out on the Sand King. Juggernaut can spin. Hazer even would be this one, but if he has help, he can also stay alive long enough and do some damage. I think you should be able to get the Prime Split off. Not entirely sure about the Battery Assault. Yeah. Stolen. Well, if he gets caught out like that, only giving him a chance to turn around. Or for Ryujin to get the kill. Limiting himself here, 5.3k net worth. It's pretty scary, right? Like if you look at net worth distribution. Nox is sitting at the top, he's getting closer to that Battle Fury. But the next 3 heroes are all cores inside of Evil Corporation. In that sense, it's doing quite well. Bashrook gets them back immediately after the burst strike. Gunsmeister, healed up here by only. Oh, not quite level 6 just yet. He fall down, only hitting the Nox really. Both teams are trying to force out spells and trying to find a good way into these fights. I've yet to see that hook shot brought to bear. Area doesn't want to hook into 4 or 5 people. Especially not without the Static Storm follow-up. Kaoli being so far behind in levels is actually starting to hurt them quite a bit. Stolen, almost level 60. Once he hits that, similar timing here to the Disruptor in terms of importance.
take that as tribute.
And have that available here.
Radiant's bottom tower is
In a
under
sense,
attack.
I think Singularity can still be just fine, continue to farm up with the battlefield build-up. Not exactly a fighting item, will just help him push out lanes and accelerate farming even more. You see what he wants to go into, whether it's gonna be the old school Man to the Feudal build, whether he'll opt to go for some sort of blink dagger. Plenty of options on a hero like him. Not so much for the tanking, he's going to have to do a blink dagger. Not too far away from it, about 500 gold.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Master
under
already
attack.
has his, got himself an inner soon, so no need to even smoke. Try and make use of that, but no
Dire's
defensive
middle
vision
tower
either
is
for the
under
Radiant
attack.
side, but they don't see anyone really on the
Radiant's
map
bottom
except
tower is
one
under
pushing
attack.
very confidently
Radiant
in the bottom lane, so they know
structures
this is going on, but they do not know how to make it in. They cannot prevent the prime split. Repel though makes it impossible for them to go on to Ryujin. They're gonna try and isolate Clockwork area. Good job kiting now, nice little defensive hookshot over to his teammate. And alright, but they do lift up Disruptor. Mastermind will be able to catch up, so Kaoli should end up falling here unless they want to commit. And they do. A couple of TPs of Shrine also being used. Make sure Kaoli will be absolutely fine. Just has another dims in a couple of seconds. Burst strike down to the low ground. Now all of a sudden it's Singularity who are on the run. Can they get vision here? It is nighttime, so it's a little bit harder. Doesn't look like they'll find anybody. Maybe Bashuk in mid here. There it is. Glimpse all the way up to the high ground. Thank you. Will be the one to fall just... well, not just before this split dagger. And actually spend the last minute or so farming, so we're still sitting at 70k now
Dire's middle
after the
tower
kill,
is
but
under attack.
that delayed. Always gonna be useful. More of a timing window for you to still not get your level 6 on Kaoli. Come on. At this point, I'm just gonna send him into a lane. Not available right now. Bottom would be the only one that's semi-safe for them to farm up. And this is also where Nox has been hanging around. Tiny little disruptor support. Still be just a lunch for him, essentially. Walk up on the slash. I don't even need that. You can walk up and spin if you have the movement speed and with face boots, I think. As long as you break the tranquils. Thing that's not really going their way though is Razor in terms of net worth at the very least.
A gift from the Tempest of
5.7k to 6.4k here of the OD, which he beat in lane. All of this action that Evil Corp has been able to perpetuate, I'm definitely in favor of that. Goes up top here, Bashok channeling up the epicenter to follow up. Burststrike only used a little bit early to armor Angel, trying to mitigate some of the damage here. Well, that is no Burststrike to secure that kill. Area tried to hook in to come in and to clean things up. Get the kill on Brewmaster as well as Sanking, so
Dire's middle tower is under
guess
attack.
that worked out. That cost him his own life too. Really good turn of events here. That's the first Windows Curse used to set out up into the epicenter. Razor being a part of it. The sun helping him to catch up a little bit more. But the two big cores have not
Radiant's
stopped farming.
top tower is under
Duchin
attack.
continuing to do what he wants. Wait for the Turrican Pike and most importantly the Gyrocopter. Next level Flak Cannon now does also have the Mask of Madness on a team fight. Or just for farming. We'll be able to get all of these charges out very quickly. And looks like it's a Sergeant Yasha for him, yeah. A good cost-effective stat item. If I've ever seen that copter recently. It does make a lot of sense. A lot of Jackovers I've seen were forced into earlier BKBs, but in this game it's absolutely necessary. Hurricane Pike though, or something like that for him. So again, try and kite around Singularity. Try and get away from the static link, away from the Brewmaster. And maybe away from the Juggernaut, who did go for the Blink Dagger into the Manta Style next. playing anti-mage almost.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Still goes
is
for the
under
diffusal
attack.
blade after the Manta style, then he'll be completely role playing him. He's keeping up with the Flak and Gyro, don't Dimson network. Gonna be crucial for them. A big reason here why this game is as even as it is. And can tilt in one way or the other pretty damn soon. Disrupted, Fighting Goddess level 6, so Static Storm can be one of these big turnarounds ultimates in the middle of a team fight. Ashrook with a Blink Dagger though can also potentially take that out of the equation entirely. So Blink Burst Strike Epicenter onto the Disruptor. Then there's also the Brewmaster Promise Split. We've seen it a couple of times. The last usage wasn't exactly ideal. This is where Singularity of kind of two different philosophies clashing. Right? You have the Juggernaut who went for this farming build. On the other hand, you have the Brewmaster who wants to be super active. Like ideally you want to use that ultimate whenever it's off cooldown. Just get 1 or 2 kills and maybe get a tower. I haven't really been able to find that. Even Corporation seems to be a little bit too tanky. Now, Bashford coming through, gets glimpsed right back here. After the burst strike out, back into the Static Storm as well as the Cogs. Kill for them, Flensmeister, the Rocket, did expire. Has to transfer too. Then you let this happen, right? Ashrook trying to be cheeky, sitting inside the trees. But got out by the Rockets and all of a sudden it's E-Corp who are in a position to push down the last T1 tower of the game here on the Dire side. Like he's sitting inside though, right? This could still be an opportunity. Once the Sand King gets back, he can do fine, but
Are fortified.
carried out, not sure Nox was the one TPing there. This was committed early here, they lift up one, get stun up the other. Choosing to blow up down the epicenter just yet, trying to bring in Flensmeister without it, and should be able to honestly at the same time Origin. Already used the banishment onto Mastermind. And bit of a tactical tumble there from Evil Corp.
Under attack.
Feels like that, even tracked down only inside the trees. His own Blink Dagger, but being tracked down. 3 cores going down for E-Corp, just like that. Singularity didn't even break a sweat. A bit worried here when Bruce Split came out without the instant follow from Sand King, but again, able to bring the control out with the stun on to Gyro and the lift up on the OD.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Oh
under
well, they
attack.
even keep the tower alive to finish up the tier 2 that I started earlier. What I was talking about. The momentum can shift so rapidly. That's not the biggest lead here. It was a 4k for E-Corp. So, all but mitigated.
Haste!
It's what else follows here. Not just tower going down, but the jungle being farmed. Other lanes being pressured here. They could shift towards top. There's still tier 1 there, so it's free money at this point.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Time!
Woody, what are you doing here?
Don't mind if I do.
Up down a very interesting aggressive ward to keep an eye on. Okay? But he does get found out straight up with the TP after the burst. Should be fine. Only Bashrook up here. He went down bottom though. Okay. Huge and very close to being picked off too, but also recognizing that he can just TP out. None of these 3 heroes actually have did they have the Witness Curse? Or if it just came off cooldown after, or he just didn't want to commit it.
And it's off.
Bit odd. Continue to farm, and well, this Razor OT matchup, I guess it's the indicator of how this game is going. Because now Razor 1500 gold ahead of the OD.
Radiant are scanning.
Going to gank. Thanks for the info. Continue maintaining control of this side jungle. Hold me up top. Didn't really turn on Titan at last battle. He's now taking some time to split push. And that could potentially be dangerous. Like Singularity, if they keep spending a lot of time with these kind of movements on the other side of the map, then gonna take some damage to the tier 3. So right now they're keeping forced back, like at least one of the heroes. That all translates into time for E4 to just cover, try and find pickoffs of the round. So let's see if I'm up the next round of items. Gyrocopter has a butterfly queued up. It sort of sense this game actually. I think you eventually still want the BKB, just that you don't kill your teammates when Dolan just pops that ultimate on somebody else.
Tower is under attack.
First strike from the sinking, bit of magic damage that the Singularity have. If you have enough tankiness, you can maybe make the argument, yeah, it's not really worth the BKB. Only slash up top onto the creep wave. Alright. I reckon quite lucky now with the hook shot in. Try and turn this around into standstill. No spin available here now. Because of a couple of right clicks, taking away all the mana. A good turn around kill. Still knocks. His turn to overextend a little bit, and well, good play from Era, recognizing that, hey, there's an opportunity here from the rest of his team. Solon, well, he's on top 2 on the other side of the map. Let's get a Windows goes off, just buy himself some more time. Area, let's have another rocket in a couple seconds, but only. Well, we'll preempt that. Gets the beat on him, blink into the nuke to pick up Rojin though. Okay, yes. They make one good play, but then they turn around, go somewhere else on the map, and all of a sudden Rojin is in a lot of trouble because he didn't get the memo. Sitting there all alone, continuing to push out top, was just asking for trouble. Rest of his team not quite close enough. Bruce Bit committed as well though. That's fine the clockwork. The secondary casualty here. Just had another hook shot, but just enough money here with the stick charges to make use of it here, perhaps defensively or aggressively. I don't want to fight this Landmeister coming through, but it's a BKB and Razor. They have to rely on the right clicks. Looks like they have it. Mastermind forced to walk away. They bring down Bashrook straight off the bat. Mikey coming back in as Bruce Bit ends. Wolves secure that extra kill to right onto the clockwork. Mastermind caught with Rocket. Quick pause. This is not ideal. I think it was the auto pause as he disconnects. And this team fight actually turning out quite badly for Singularity. They could get more, but then in a bit of miscommunication perhaps. Razor was walking away. Then Brewmaster is back in with the blink trying to fight, but he gets bursted down. Now I'm pretty sure this Razor, even though he has a static link going, so Flensmice is not gonna do too much right click damage. Does have stick charges, but no cooldown on Rocket Rush in 6 seconds. Same for Omni Knight, but he also has the Orchid to work with. Maybe it's expired, Hurricane Pike available. It's actually hard to say whether they'll be able to get that kill, especially with Solon also coming in. And a Cold Embrace available. He burns from the blast. No Winter's Curse though. We'll see how it works out with a incorporating one from mid, looks like it. And alright. At least looking across. All good. All good. Plenty of damage. These spells immediately available. Well, I believe you got them back. Another disconnects. Alright. Hopefully his issues will be resolved soon. Bit of a back and forth in this game. Again, I did expect an even matchup, and this game doesn't disappoint. I had the goal graph right back to 0 line. Same for the experience. It's all a game of momentum, really. Farming up the next round of items, just taking a team fight, and eventually Roshan will also be a consideration. Both of these teams will have to think about. Neither is really taking it, so it's have to be preceded by a team fight. See if anyone's built into battalions either to try and help that along. So yeah, it'll be one of these games where you only get Roshan after you've won a team fight. Beyond that, it'll be just pushing down towers. Very similar tower situation actually, with offlane tier 1 still standing for both teams. Very low health. With tier 2 tower alive. Yeah, only made the rotation on bottom. He does see Solon coming in. Goes in with the Orchid, and well, nuke, couple of right clicks. And solo kill it is. Oh, maybe not just yet. Last tick of damage. York, not enough to bring him down, gets healed up, but hey, glimpse back right into Omi again. Another purification. Not quite a solo kill, Kaoli helping out significantly. But it kills the kill. Singularity. Making good use of these rotations. And, well, talking about it, win a team fight, go for Roche. Still gonna take them a while, but 25 seconds still on the sidelines for Razor, and especially knowing that the Winter's Curse is down. Makes it much easier for them. I wonder who that Aegis goes to actually, whether it's the OD or the Gyro. We'll also have enough money for the complete butterfly after this. Not close to it anyway. Yeah, it is Ryujin who picks it up. Oh wait, what? Oh no. Okay. Didn't see it in the Gyro's inventory. Figured OD would have it, but it just took a while to pick it up. Both of them would make sense. Gyrocopter is slightly less survivable, even with the butterfly, I guess. Big difference either way. Like one of these two players do similar amounts of tower damage, I would say. So Gyrocopter quite a bit more actually, yes. I think about that. With butterfly and Mask Menace too, so makes sense for him to be the one that stays in the front lines. Brings a few spells while hitting the tower. And Evil Corp themselves up quite nicely. Back for the minus here with the way the game went, but now it's back in the static storm solo. Once again, the punching back. Will fall one more time. Coley gets the last second damage in for himself. Again, it took him a while to get to the level 6, but ever since he got it, piled for quite a few kills. 1, 4, and 14. Goal line for him here, and working away at that Agnum Scepter. Once he has that, could be super useful here against the Razor in particular with that BKB. Juggernauts, just disabling the butterfly that he's working on.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Maybe the eventual BKB if you go for that himself. But now, Gyro, the region still a little bit falling behind.
Under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Life of Vice. You get a lot of time to farm here is what it's down to. A lot of time or space. That's nice to take this much. On the other hand, it is Juggernaut who's just surging ahead of everybody, including his own Razor.
Are scanning.
It could also be an issue, right? If he gets taken out of the team fight early, if he doesn't have an impact, then that's a lot of network down the drain. The rest of the team will not be able to compensate. On Singularity, they need to be able to find these initiations. Blink, Omni Slash, bring somebody down.
I was meant to have
Alright. All comes out under the water. Value already. Nox. Want to fight this though anyway. And okay, there it is. I was just gonna say, yeah, it's the wrong target to go on. But wrong to go for the Omni Slash Refuge in there anyway. Gonna find KOD regardless from Mastermind. Now the Bruce McMillan Lensmeister front line does have the agents, so doesn't particularly care about taking a few spells, but this is why Bafra goes across to the other side. Only tries to but one of the spells he can, pops a BKB, just man fighting up against Mastermind, but he's still quite a bit of damage. Able to turn things around for Lensmeister. Well, aims for the top, the rest of his team is pretty dead. Region on the outside, not really doing too much with the Sanity's Eclipse. Lifted up in the air by the rest of the blue split. Lensmeister caught inside his own cogs, trying to fight up against Mikey. But so much damage to the sword up against everybody with the flag cannon. Almost able to do that. Brings down one, brings down two before he finally falls himself. He only comes back in the fight, pops a shrine, but Mikey and Bashrook still pretty damn healthy to finish him off. At the same time, Nox trying to be run down by Ari and Ryujin, who have found a way back into this fight. Mikey, very low health. They see him here. Cancel rocket, but cancel blink with the rocket, but no extra hookshot available for another couple of seconds. Make sure that he'll be able to get back and go for the TP out. Ooh. Buyback used in Kaoli, dieback even. Good fight for Singularity, especially considering that Nox survived that. Weave his way out of there as he's being run down. to a moment where I consider, alright, I need that BKB, and yes, has it queued up, starting to purchase into it. Also good decision from Singularity, just ignoring Tricopter for as long as they can, just go straight past him with a Burst Strike Epicenter. There's so many people that you can repel, or me going for the BKB himself. Could make a bit of a difference there, so you get
I'll take that as tribute.
that extended magic immunity, well, not just him but also the rest of his team, considering that he then up to give the repel to somebody else. Well enough. Because without EOD, just right-clicking throughout the fights and fueling up that Sanity's Eclipse to actually kill people and do a lot of damage rather than just burning away a little bit of mana. Yeah, lacking this burst component. Helicopter, very much a carry that does a lot of damage over time. Over a short time, but still. Singularity for the longest time they kept alive, only in the last bit of seconds of his life he was able to get to these 2 kills. So it's also the function of the Spruce Split. Mikey playing quite well in this hero so far, just always lifting up these important heroes. Case it was the Admiral Devourer. He was just lying around for 6 seconds. Didn't do too much, and for that heal, I mean, that Cypher Vice is a very proactive way to deal with it. Kelly's gonna scout out. Bashrook almost finding an extra hero on the TP out. Into my top area. We used the hookshot for something. I missed it.
Incoming.
So Ryujin's idea is, alright, we're gonna initiate onto Singularity so we can hex up the Brewmaster and kill him ideally before he can get the Prime Split off. Then I'll be absolutely fine. That's the idea. Otherwise you would be going for a Lincoln Sphere or BKB or something like that, which you very well might still. There we are. Alright, takes the Omni Slash, cannot break him with the 4-star. Feels Batman right there.
My blade has tasted better. Gold is a great conductor.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Box. 3.5k ahead of the Gyro. Oh, freaking farm with this one. That's his own Butterfly and another 3k gold in the bank. Tricopter going for the BKB. It's not going to be an MKB anytime soon. Could also be an option for OD, but yeah, I don't know. The Cypher Vice, one of many options that can work out, but obviously only if you get kills with it. And find the right situation to use it inside a team fight, or else it might just be not enough. And that is 5 come through, a couple of right clicks, and Mikey gets glimpsed back, but instead pops a BKB. It takes some cooldown, so someone just curse, but look at this, Kaoli. Both Folly and Lane at the same time, only slowed down, gets the blink off anyway. Couple of spells being exchanged, that's what it comes down to. Spells and the BKB in exchange for the Copter. He's still setting up on a high ground. Doesn't have another Prime Split available. Blink Burst Strike into the Hex, but Frontmeister still caught in the front. They have to make this way up to the high ground. Okay, what they're gonna do? Q2 will fall, so there's all the space created on me once more though. Look at this damage though! What the hell was that even? Still alive, Mastermind stole a decent amount, but now Flancemaster's coming through with that ultimate. Trying to slow them down, but already out of range. His BKB is starting to run down. 4-star fall from Ryujin, trying to catch somebody here, and that is the Razor. Ultimate is going, but he's hexed up. Right click down. Time to fuel up quite a bit of this intelligence, and they want more. They don't want to stop. No hookshot, unfortunately, but Soren on the side. Can they catch him out? They can. Finds himself tiny little nook where they don't have vision. Cannot cancel a TP on me with another blink. Rocket flies, but Singularity pushed all the way back up into their own high ground. Okay, for Eco though, they have a creeper coming in down bottom, so they will be able to claim tier 2 tower off of this as well. Such a back and forth game. I still have no idea who wins this. I mean, right now the momentum is in favor of Eco, with 2 heroes still being down. We might even be able to force out a couple of buybacks. Nice little Winter Curse. Repel to prevent the follow-up. Oh god, that does not prevent the Omni Slash. Will be tanked over by transferring over to Old Knee. Will die to it. Flancemeister almost knocks him, trying to keep close. BKB not end in time. Flancemeister has to juke and drive, and looks like he'll be successful with keeping straight out. And the hook shot defensively into the team. Mikey, without his ultimate form, cannot cancel that. Damn. Slash, he's level 25, so plus 5 flashes. A big difference. Like an AC to play against that, and yeah, Omni Knight has the same idea. It's time to work into it.
A gift from the temples of battle.
Like that. Back around to the other side. Aegis and Shears as well. Sham is available again, right for the taking. Everything this time is gonna go into their hands. View for Nox. Valve says, hey, yeah, you get that for free. No worries. Gonna help you out. E-Corp can be forced to defend. And give him map control, more importantly. Might give Ashok. That's how many PKBs we have this game. Mikey has one, Mastermind has one, Fox has one, Ashok has one. All PKBs inside of Singularity. Only one so far in Flamsmeister as well as an own. Two on the side of the top. Back in the 9 seconds. It's pretty fresh in this run. This makes his item step to disruptor all the more important. They need to try and find some ways to get him more money. Isn't too far away, it's another 1500 gold. But, well, no GPM talent just yet. It's the other way, right? If they can feed him a couple of extra tomes, get him level 20. With the plus 180 GPM to get him there eventually. And that's the kind of spell, that kind of upgrade that can decide the game in and of itself. Preventing these big beasts from coming out. That Singularity rely on, especially if they don't scout out that exact X timing. He gets caught off guard by that perhaps. They know he's building it, obviously. They might not necessarily know when exactly it'll come out. Time to head into this late game where every team fight could just the end, depending on buyback status and everything as well, and both teams, they have the ability to push across the map very quickly. Lanes are in a bit of a flux too, no team really able to keep control of it for too long. Now it's Singularity, still trying to leverage the Aegis onto the Juggernaut, so you can just go in, go load up, and get a kill or two with the Omnislash. And the rest of the team can come in, but we'll also need a creep wave to really make use of that in terms of objectives. So yeah, actually playing very far forward. Use Midas on creep wave though, they lose farming. It's gonna shame him for this one, not efficient. God, Solon and the sides. Enforce of in for Winter's Curse. Yes, use the Midas somewhere else. Look, that's Kaoli, yeah, I like this as sending him up there. Bit risky because if Singularity were to go on right now, it'd still need a couple of seconds for the TP and get some extra mana before the static storm would be available, but him being there, farming up these extra bit of camps, getting experience towards the level 20, as well as more money for the Aghanim Scepter in the first place. He has it completed now. But I want to take a fight. Singularity might be baited in here with the safety of the Aghs. Only right now he's smoked up in the back. Not spotted out by this Observer Ward, which should really be dewarded at this point. Speaking of counters, so MKB has already been completed on the Juggernaut as well. Other ways to counter out that butterfly of the Juggernaut. Okay, comes back. We're waiting for the big commitment. That is Mikey with the ultimate. Oh no, they don't actually catch anyone inside the Static Storm. An absolute waste. Flansman pops the BKB. Omnislash bouncing through, and that'll help finish him off very easily. Defensive imprisonment will only delay the inevitable here for Ryujin. There's not enough money for buyback, so Flansmeister is the only core that they have as a big damage dealer. Wasting Static Storm here is such a big deal. We can claim the Aegis just yet. It's a Singularity. Let's finish up This main Laraxi is no forced to the fight, only just man fighting now. Nice little cogs from area keeping them in, but Solon with the defensive heals coming through. Now the Winter's Curse hasn't been used just yet. I'll make sure to set up another burst strike and just go from bad to worse here for Team E-Corp. 3 heroes down, including a dieback on Gyro. Only his 4th left standing, and that's not gonna be enough. GG will play this called Singularity. Well, they'll lose Mastermind here. Doesn't really matter at this point, does it? Pizza cheese. Just as the Ancient explodes, so that fight could have turned the other way. But that Static Storm, just Kinetic Field coming up just a little bit too late. Singularity able to walk out of it. They'll have the entire toolkit available as a result, which does mean that E-Corp cannot mount a successful defense, especially with the Omni Slash being so freaking strong. Isolated on the flanks, might forcing it to buyback, and then, well, half your toolkit missing on the side of E-Corp. Can't really make good use of what damage you have. Team Singularity, game number 1 in their bag. It's been a lot of back and forth though, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see Evil Corporation come back, tie up the series, which they'll have to if they want to stay alive in this tournament. Gonna take a short break, but they'll be back soon, so don't go too far away.